Hello, and thank you for listening to the very first ever Birmingham Sportscast. Before we get started today, I just wanted to let y'all know that since the recording of this video, all three Birmingham professional sports teams have had their seasons suspended, and any game previews we discuss will be happening at a later date. The next podcast that goes up, which will be March 28th, that's when we will be discussing more in depth the effects of the virus and how it's affecting Birmingham sports as a whole. I appreciate you all listening to the podcast, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Birmingham Sports Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Russ McIntyre.
My name is Ethan.
And let's get right into it. Alright, today we'll be covering all three major teams. You got the Bulls, you got the Barons, you got the Legion. But let's start off with the Bulls. The Bulls, it's been a little rough for them, wouldn't you say?
Not too hot. Definitely under, what is it? Not performing as well as last year. The SPHL Cup final run last year. Not living up to the hype this year.
After making a final last year, 16, 22, and 6. That's a little less than grand, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. One major issue is the roster turnover. And Jamie Hicks has alluded to this on many occasions. The roster turnover this year has been insane compared to last year. Last year there was barely any roster turnover.
Barely.
But this year guys have been called up to ECHL, with different teams up there.
Making trades left and right.
Oh, yeah. It's been crazy.
One of those recent trades, Tommy's, I'm going to go Seiko's. I'm gonna say that T is silent there. If anyone has any corrections on me on this one, feel free to just attack me in the comments. TSICOS. I'm gonna go with a silent T there. Traded him. We also acquired Jonah Wazalak, but Jonah, I'm not sure how I feel about him. I mean, I feel bad to say this because I support all teams here, but he only scored 4 goals, 9 assists when he was with the University of Manitoba. And he's a forward.
Yeah.
How does this move make sense to you, Ethan?
Honestly, the Bulls are just looking for anything right now to give them a spark.
And I can't blame them at all. They gotta get something going here. They are. Do you know where they are at in the table right now?
Seventh.
And lucky for them, it's a
18 playoff.
It's an 18 playoff, so they're getting lucky right now. But that's gonna run out eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely. Under what's the right word to use here? Very, very disappointing year so far. But the boys, as it stands, they're in a playoff position, which is good. So once playoffs roll around, anything is possible, anything can happen. But wrapping up last night, they lost on the road to the Rivermen 5-1, gave up 4 goals in the first period, so not looking too hot right there. But granted, they're the second team in the standings right now, so
I think their best bet right now is to play it safe, just do the best to right the ship, but keep it basically even to where they are right now. Try to stay healthy, and once the playoffs start, make that big push. I think that's probably their best odds.
Definitely, and it helps that they have a veteran like Josh Harris still there, captain this year, who SPHL MVP last year. Definitely helps him anchoring that line and top 4 in assist, I believe, in the whole entire league. So definitely solid after a slow start once again this year.
But I will say, I think the games I've been to, the games I've reported on, one of the biggest issues I've seen with the team so far, and this is coming from someone who's played the position, not the sport, but I did play the position for over a decade. I think the goaltending play has been less than phenomenal, I would say. That's being kind. Because I was a goalie for over a decade. And there are shots that... I played lacrosse, so I never played hockey. But there are shots that I'll see that you just have to save.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Goalie struggles have surely been there this year. There's been so many turnover in goalies this year. At the beginning of the year, Art Bray locked up that number 1 role. Looked sharp, definitely. But over time, let a couple squeak by. Actually went on loan to a ECHL team, I believe. I cannot remember the team off the top of my head. But they brought in Austin Lotz, who played for the AHL affiliate of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ooh.
At one point in his career, if I'm not wrong. So very solid there. He started off really strong, really hot. But recently it's been kind of more of a Bray and Lotz duo. They've been tag teaming it. Night here for one, another night there for another. But I mean, definitely the goalie struggles ever since Maverick Parks retired. That is a huge loss.
And that was a sudden retirement that may very well explain what's happened this season.
Definitely.
Because if I remember, it wasn't exactly an early retirement in the offseason. It was later on in the offseason when they had less time to get notifications out, get trainees in to try out for the position.
Yeah, and he now he's retired back in Canada, as far as I know, and actually took up a coaching job there.
Okay.
So he's doing good for himself, but
I mean, I always love to see them back in the sport.
Oh yeah,
in any facility,
coaching the younger guys up, especially.
And he's definitely one that would be a great coach.
Definitely.
Who do we play next, Ethan?
Who do we play next? We play. Well, this is being recorded on March 7th, so tonight we play the Rivermen once again.
So tonight, on the 7th, we play the Rivermen.
We do.
But this will be coming out on the 14th. So who do we play the 14th or 15th?
We play, we have the Rivermen on the 7th. On the 8th, we have at Quad City, which I just want to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Because even though this podcast will be out past then, Cole Galak.
Yes.
Could be pronouncing that wrong. A longtime Birmingham guy, every fan favorite by far. Everybody loves him. Traded there, so that came out of nowhere.
That was a shocking trade.
That came out of nowhere. So keep an eye on that game, especially in the playoffs if they match up, which they could. Okay, but Friday, March 13th, which is the night before this podcast comes out.
Oh, absolutely.
Play Roanoke at home. Again, probably pronouncing that wrong.
Roanoke, actually.
Roanoke. There we go.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, the day this comes out, 7 p.m. at the Pelham Civic Center, play Roanoke again. So be sure to come out for that.
Be there.
We'll
probably be there. We'll see you. We'll high-five you. We'll shake those hands. Wait, no, we won't. That's a bad time for that.
And then Tuesday, March 17th, Birmingham plays Macon, 7:30 puck drop.
Oh, Macon.
And then Friday and Saturday, the March 20th and March 21st, last two home games of the year before playoffs start. So be sure to come out on the 20th, 7:30 puck drop, Pelham Civic Center against Evansville. And Saturday, the big one to close it out, the Rivermen at home, 7 p.m. puck drop. So be sure to be there.
Now, a second ago, Ethan, you said Macon. We all know Macon's in Georgia, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, speaking of Georgia, we got some big old news switching over to the Legion FC for a minute. Young star J.J. Williams has been signed by Atlanta United, and that is effective immediately. He is already training with the team. He is no longer with the Legion. And what are your thoughts on that, Ethan? What do you think?
I am absolutely shocked because this all happened so quick. He came back to Birmingham. We were all ready. We were all ready to see the front line of Brian Wright, Nico Brett, Prosper Kasim, J.J. Williams, Rudolph Mensa, the youngster from Ghana, Jaden Cervania, the other youngster from the U.S., and Chandler Hoffman, the hometown kid. But it came out of nowhere. I'm shell-shocked by it. But what are your thoughts on it?
There's been a lot of confusion amongst fans as to how this happened. There's been a lot of confusion amongst fans on how this happened. And a lot of them are wondering if we signed JJ, how did he get sent to Atlanta so fast? And it's just one of those things that JJ was on a Generation Adidas contract. That is a 2-year contract sponsored by the MLS, not any specific team. So essentially the MLS owns his rights for 2 years while he's under that contract. So when he was with Birmingham, even this offseason when we played Antigua, he was technically still a loanee from the MLS because the MLS owned him, no specific team owned him.
Yes, and that rolls over another perk for Atlanta United getting J.J. Williams is since he is on that Generation Adidas contract, he does not.
It takes up no cap off their senior rosters.
Yes, and technically doesn't take a place on the senior roster either.
Nope.
So it's a win for Atlanta, big time.
Atlanta almost literally has nothing they can lose in this situation. There's no downside for Atlanta for this, especially after that goal he scored against Antigua. I'm sure everyone saw it, that absolute rock of a free kick up to the corner. I mean, with goals like that, it's hard. No one can blame Atlanta for taking a chance on JJ.
One thing I do have to say is I do believe there is a chance we could possibly see JJ back in Birmingham later this year as a loanee from Atlanta. Because Atlanta, during the summertime, since Martinez is out for this long, they could look to bring in a big money move. It's possible, maybe unlikely, but it's possible. Atlanta definitely has the money to bring in that move. So maybe that restricts JJ's minutes, and I'm sure the Legion would be more than happy to take him back on loan.
Atlanta more than has the money for this. Atlanta, they're the big boys of the U.S. They got the money, they got the facilities. If a free agent player, or not even a free agent, if a star from our team shows up to Atlanta's facilities, they're going to be impressed. I've seen pictures of them. They're gorgeous. They got the money for it. Atlanta's definitely going to bring someone in this offseason, mostly because of how important Joseph was to their entire system. I don't know who that's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be someone like Pity Martinez again, because Pity wasn't necessarily meshing that well with Joseph in the first place. I don't know if they're going to find someone else to mess with him, or if they're really going to commit to the kids and let JJ hop in there a good bit to give him some appearances. They trialed Quincy Amarikwa. I don't know if they signed him yet or not, but I don't know if they're gonna stick to their kids or if they're gonna try bringing a signing. And if they bring a signing, I can definitely see JJ coming back to Birmingham on loan.
Yes, and I wanna tie in real quick Atlanta, the preseason match. Let's touch on that for a minute.
Oh, absolutely.
Was it 6,600, something along that line?
6,600, almost 7,000.
Yeah.
The stadium only technically seats 5,000.
Ridiculous
but
numbers.
I've been told it's a little more than that with standing room.
Yeah, I just want to touch on that real quick because that preseason match, it was something else to be there in person, you know.
You were there. I wasn't. I was at work Saturday that day, but you were there.
Yeah.
So you tell me about this.
Oh, man. From gates open, Atlanta came out in full force. Honestly, I felt like Atlanta would just swamp the place and there'd be no Legion fans hardly because, let's be real here, a lot of Atlanta fans live in Birmingham too, you know. A lot of Birmingham natives are Atlanta fans for the MLS.
I mean, you'll see Atlanta United jerseys at Legion games when they're not even playing Atlanta too. They're just...
Yeah.
I was at the Ottawa game last year, and I saw just Atlanta fans in the stands. And so that's a very genuine fear that we're playing Atlanta's first team. We're probably going to get swamped with Atlanta fans.
But it was a pleasant surprise that we weren't swamped, and we actually held our ground. And honestly, the MCB, the Magic City Brigade supporters group, held it down. Honestly, compared to what I thought it would be, I thought they would just get out chanting, you know. And no disrespect to the MCB, but Atlanta, they have some different supporters groups over there that just bring it every day. So, but held our own, you know. And everything about that game was awesome. From the play on the field to how the front office put it all together was really, really nice. And the play on the field was, the first half, it was more of starters versus starters, what we expected, you know.
You saw your Joseph, you saw your Pity Martinez, you saw your Miles Robinson's actually still hurt, I think, so I don't know if he was there. But for Birmingham, you saw
Prosper,
Rozak,
Movo, the Donut King in the sticks. You saw your likes of, who else was there out there? You know,
we have those two trialists.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Dylan Cerna and Johannes Bergsman.
Yes, Johannes. That guy, since that game, the Legion have signed him on a permanent deal. And
well, trialist Dylan Cerna has signed with Sporting Kansas City too.
Yeah, but I mean, let's go in and talk about more of the players, the off-season signings.
All right, I do have the list of signings right here. If you have any specific one you want to talk about first, or else I can just go through the list here.
Let's start from the back in the sticks. You know, let's talk about the whole roster all together.
All right, we got some youth in the sticks now. We got Ford Parker,
and that's a nice pairing. With
he's a refreshing face to see.
Yeah, definitely bring some youth to Van Okel, the number 1, and Spangenberg, the backup. So Parker seems like he'll slot in at that 3 spot, which is good. 23-year-old, play for UC Irvine. His tail end of his
they're the Anteaters, right? UC Irvine? I think they are.
I have no clue on that, but But yeah, solid college career. Happy to have him in the squad.
And going up that back line now, we got Jonathan Dean. We were discussing him before the podcast, actually.
Yeah, Jonathan Dean, a guy drafted by Orlando City in the second round this year. Young 22-year-old out of UCF.
Let's go Golden Knights.
Almost said UFC there.
I mean, I do that every day. It's fine.
UCF. I definitely liked what I saw from him in preseason. Looks like a quick guy. Definitely helps with the depth on the back line, which is much needed.
I'm not 100% sure why, as to Orlando City SC waived him. But thinking back on it, Orlando City has enough developmental issues right now that they're facing that I don't know if they really needed more projects to work on for a while. They got a full roster full of kids. It's gonna take them a minute to get there, and I think they just wanted to give Jonathan a chance to actually go out and find playing time, which I can definitely respect if that's the case.
Definitely, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the squad. It looks like he'll slot in behind the old captain, Mikey Lopez. But we'll touch on him later. So let's continue with the back line. Who do we got next?
We got my personal favorite of all of our signings this offseason. As far as defense goes. Because my favorite is going to come up later. But of the back line, I can't help but ignore. I can't help not to ignore. That's on me. I tried. Alex Crognell from Columbus Crew SC.
The 25-year-old looks like an absolute beast.
Got several quality appearances last year for MLS Columbus Crew. Looks solid from the film I've seen. I'm excited. He's a mountain of a man.
Oh, definitely a presence in the box. And fun fact, as I'm looking at it right here, it looks like we have the same birthday, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah. But definitely.
So you hear that, Alex? If you're listening, which I know you are, I know you're listening to our podcast. Bring Ethan a present. He'll give you a present.
Yeah, we have that. I believe we play Indy 11 on August 27th.
Give him a match ball.
That's gonna be something. You'll be there.
I know you're listening. I know the entire team listens to this.
So definitely a beast in that center back spot. Definitely excited for him. He will definitely help with the void left by Kyle Fisher, who retired last year.
That was a shock and retiring.
It seemed like he was injuries, just took a toll on him, and it was time. Some guys, it's just time to move on, and it looked like he got his real estate license, so preparing for the future, which is much respect.
It's a smart move.
He did his time with he put his work in with the soccer community altogether. So, I mean, fair play to him, and we wish him nothing but the best.
And as an athlete in a similar situation with concussions and knee problems, I can definitely understand that once injuries take that kind of toll on you, there are times where you just have to realize that I probably need to hang it up. Because the last thing an athlete wants, and you can understand this, because you are still playing.
You've got to think about the future too. He probably wants to have a family, and
because you can leave. It's always told you can leave it on the field. Yeah, of course you can. You can leave it all on the field, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to walk off the field. That was something I always had to think about, especially with my concussions.
Moving on to we don't know where he's going to slot in or when. Well, we know where he's going to slot in, but we don't know when he's going to slot in. Laurent coming back.
I am stoked for him. He's a Blazer, much like myself. Let's go UAB.
Definitely made his presence known last year. Came out of nowhere.
I mean, he came out of UAB.
Well, yeah, but he.
So that's the best soccer team in the country. What's wrong with you?
Professionally came out of nowhere. In his first season with the Legion.
He struggled the first few games. I remember that very fateful own goal he got.
Yeah, but that's been long gone, forgotten by many
people. That's
long
gone.
Definitely going to be exciting to watch once he comes back. But the guy that everybody presumes to be this man slotting in for him is Bergman, the German, out of Maryland, first professional season on a professional team. Definitely excited. 25 years old. Was actually with in the Germany national team youth system.
Really?
I believe U20 maybe.
Okay.
So I mean, he was up there. He was on the radar. Ooh. Very, very solid player. A beast. Looked like a beast in that ATL game. Definitely excited for him.
Next we got Bruno Lappa. What you know about him?
Well, we're skipping over here.
We're skipping over.
We're skipping over. We got to hit up our boy Razak real quick.
We got We got our boy Rozak.
We got to hit up everybody on the roster.
Everybody on the roster.
Everybody on the roster.
I thought we were just doing signings. Oh, look at me acting a fool over here.
We went off script a little there.
Oh, I didn't know there was a script. Oh, goodness.
But Rozak.
You see how ready I am for this.
Oh, my. Rozak is my guy. I love this man. Whenever he came on loan from Dreams FC, I believe, in Ghana.
Ethan's a bit of a fanboy, if you can't tell.
Yeah, just a wee bit. But Rozak, the guy, when I say this preseason he looked more sharp than he has last season altogether, it speaks. His play speaks for himself. He's blazing down that wing. He's getting forward, but he's also, his defensive work is astronomically good this year compared to last year. Definitely excited to see what he can do on the flank. Linking up with guys like Prosper and Brian and Chandler, all the guys up. Maybe fellow Ghanaian Mensah, which would be very interesting.
Mensah, in the goal I watched on the video playback, he looks fast, he looks athletic, he looks crafty. I liked what I saw, but granted, I didn't see a whole lot.
Oh yeah, Mensah is definitely one to keep out with. But before we touch on Mensah, I want to move over to Bruno Lapa, 22-year-old out of Wake Forest. I believe he was ACC defender, or not, excuse me, ACC midfielder of the year.
Yeah, there we go.
First team something or another, very, very well respected in the ACC. Out of Wake Forest, obviously. Definitely a solid player. It looks like the defense is so stacked this year, honestly, in the defensive holding role. So, I mean, as of now, it looks like more of a depth piece than anything. But you never know. Definitely looks solid through preseason. I would say pretty much everybody has looked really solid during preseason. I'm very pleased and very surprised about it. But Bruno Lapa, he's got that little spark in him. It seems, he can pull something out of nowhere. The magician, maybe a little Kobayashi in him.
Kobayashi, that's a legend now.
Kobayashi, yeah, the 37-year-old.
The ageless wonder.
Coming back, I believe it's like something like his 20th year.
Oh yeah,
something like that. He had that fantastic through ball to Mensah in the ATL game. I mean, the dude. I mean, despite his age, despite his bad knees, probably he's still got it. He has still got it.
I mean, at that age, I feel like everyone has bad knees. That's not
yeah, definitely. But Kobayashi, look for more of, I would say, off the bench role. Definitely, maybe the occasional start here and there. But ever since the midfield acquired Asu, I can't even speak. Anderson Asi.
You're getting there, buddy.
Asi.
If you want, I can cut this out, but we're
gonna go with
Anderson. Leave it in. All right.
We're gonna say I'm gonna
say a C-dude. So I'm gonna say that's my commitment here.
Anderson, a C-dude. Ever since they got him, the midfield last year. Let's touch on last year just a bit. A C-dude provided that spark that we needed that helped us get that playoff push, and frankly, quite surprisingly, it came around the same time that Kobayashi got hurt. So, a Sea-Doo slide.
And no, we're not implying anything there. If someone wants to add us in the comments, you can get mad at us. We're not implying anything there, so we're just going to clear our names of that real quick.
Yeah, but
we're never going to advocate anyone ever being injured, so don't you dare think about it.
But it looks like Kobayashi will definitely take a reserved role this year, especially with Akinyode coming in. A beast.
Akinyode is one of my favorite signings right now. If we compare him with Anderson, if we want to play two defensive midfielders, which we might, I wouldn't be shocked if we did.
We got small and talls back there, man. That's one ginormous guy next to one small guy who plays like a big guy.
That's definitely they're gonna anchor our midfield.
Definitely
heavily.
One of the best in the USL. Definitely one of the best defensive midfield pairings.
I'm honestly a little shocked that he didn't get to hang around Nashville to stay with the MLS side.
I was very shocked. And talking to some Nashville supporters, they were pleasantly, well, not pleasantly surprised. They were surprised that they didn't offer him a contract.
Because from what I've seen, he could have definitely. I mean, I don't think he would have started for Nashville's MLS side. I don't think he was started. But he definitely would be one of those guys that makes 15, 17 appearances as a reserve.
Definitely has the quality in his locker to do it.
Oh, definitely has the youth to do it.
Oh, yeah.
He's young.
Only, 25?
25.
So, definitely there. And moving on, we have El Captain, Mikey Lopez.
Mikey Lopez.
And let's be real here. Mikey's not a midfielder anymore. He's a fullback. Let's just get that out of the way. He is a fullback through and through.
I mean, with Coach Sohn, He loves moving those midfielders back down to back.
He does.
I don't quite understand. He did it with Femi last year. Well, Femi was a striker, but
yeah,
you all know what I mean.
Even though Lopez, his presence in the midfield was strong last year, whenever he did take that role on as a fullback, I am very confident in him now. I'm not worried if he starts at right back. Rozak starts on the left, fine by me. That is perfect right there for me. That is good enough. And we have those Bergman and Krongel in the middle. Perfect back line right there.
After what seemed for me, I mean, for a while I was a little upset that we didn't have enough defensive signings after so many people retired. I feel a lot more confident now in our back line.
Yes.
I feel a lot more secure in what's happening. I feel a lot safer in it. I think we've made the signs we needed to make.
Especially the one that solidified it for me was Bergman, for sure. Definitely. That gave me peace of mind knowing that we have that center back, especially with Laurent out for the near future. So
how much longer? Do we know how much longer Laurent's going to be out?
I do not. I remember having.
I know he's back in light training, but I don't know if he's back in full yet.
I know it happened towards the end of the season. Maybe against Indy 11, possibly. I want to say it was Indy 11. Don't quote me if I'm wrong.
I think it wasn't. I think Gunnar and I checked this, and it was Indy 11. I think.
Okay, but so I mean, it's gonna be a while.
Luckily, though, Birmingham's one of the things Birmingham's known for is our medical community. So
yes,
he's definitely being very well taken care of.
Oh yes, by far.
UB has some phenomenal hospitals. If I seem very UB heavy right now, I go there. So I'm very biased with this one.
And moving on to our last midfielder.
Ooh, who'd you got?
Ugarte.
Marcus Ugarte. I saw him when I came out of the store a few months ago.
The man who signed off he attended the open trial last year and then progressed and ultimately got a contract.
Well, because he was in the USL before this too, because he used to play. He was a former Rochester Rhino. Remember that team?
Back in the day.
They're supposed to come down to League One actually at some point.
Interesting.
But he didn't make a whole lot of appearances last year. But when I did watch him, I'm impressed with two things. I'm impressed with his stature on the field. He carries himself like he's king of the world. He's confident. He looks like he's very confident in his abilities. Two, his decision making and passing. I'm gonna put those in the same little box there. Every single time I saw him, his passes were crisp. They were where they needed to be. They weren't too flashy, but they got the job done. I guess the way I would describe him is a very utilitarian player. He's not going to blow you away with his speed or flashiness, but he's going to get whatever you need to do. He's going to get it done, and I like him for that.
Couldn't agree more. Definitely look for him to make those couple appearances here and there off the bench. Mainly a depth piece. It's going to be hard for him to break through this year with the midfield looking like Akinyoto and Asidu, will be our starting pairing. And then you have the likes of Lapa and Kobayashi.
But he will have his first best chance, I would say, to make an appearance is our U.S. Open Cup second round match against I don't know how, but we were not given a home date for the U.S. Open Cup second round. We are going to Chattanooga to play the Red Wolves of League One. I don't know how they won that bid.
Tuesday, April 7th.
Yep.
So
I would say that's probably Ugarte's first real chance to get some playing time.
And to piggyback off that, two youngins that will get a shot.
Two youngins?
In Chattanooga, who I am very, very ecstatic about.
Who are you ecstatic about, Ethan?
Rudolph Mensa and Jaden Cervania.
Oh, by the way, just so everyone knows, he is not an academy signing. It's not an academy contract, but he was not from our academy.
He was from the Houston Dynamo Academy, I believe, possibly FC Dallas. Somewhere.
It's one of those two Texas MLS teams.
We don't have it right on hand here. We know his older brother Brandon plays for FC Dallas and recently got his first U.S. men's national team cap, so definitely some quality in his older brother that we hope can transition over to the Wake Forest commit. And him being on that amateur contract, he's not getting paid, therefore he still retains his college eligibility. So he's leaving that door open if he wants to take that route, which is always good. Definitely come into a professional setting for a couple months, get some minutes in before going off to college if that's his end goal. So,
speaking of that, I've been thinking, how long do you think we're gonna have Savannah before he has to actually go to Wake Forest? I'm thinking like beginning of August is the longest we're gonna have him.
yeah, definitely a thing to keep an eye out for.
I don't know when the college soccer season starts. You probably know more about that than I would.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different for different teams.
Gotcha.
So one thing I do hope is he sticks around as long as he can, because especially in the ATL game, the man plays like a grown person. Like, he does not look like an 18-year-old out there playing against 25-year-olds. He held his own. He lost the ball a couple of times, straight back on it. Pushed grown men out of the way to get it.
I was speaking to someone in the front office, and I heard Jaden was just fighting the entire game.
I mean, it was...
You couldn't tell the kid nothing.
I was pleasantly surprised by that and very happy with his performance. Definitely one to watch out for, and especially it'd be kind of cool if he does choose Wake Forest and ends up continuing on that route. Definitely be cool to watch his progress and how he does there. But moving on into the other 18-year-old who made a splash his first week into the U.S.
A splash, you say?
A splash. The ball from Kobayashi and Mensa running onto it, showing the blazing speed, and slotting it home past Atlanta's like third choice keeper.
Hey, he'll take any goal he gets right now, okay?
Yes, by far.
That kid is younger than me. Leave him alone.
He's my one to watch this year. He is definitely my one to watch because the guy plays with a chip on his shoulder. You can see it. He plays with passion. He plays for the love of the game. It's going to be hard for him to get minutes, definitely. But like we said in that Chattanooga game, definitely look out and see if he could break through in that game. But what are your thoughts on Rudolph?
I think Rudolph, I don't think he's going to be a star per se, just because how young he is. He has to develop a little bit. I can generally see him being a nice replacement for Prosper Kasim when Prosper comes out. That's where I can see him. That's who I can see him best replacing. But I've heard that Prosper may move to more of a midfield role this year or a winger role. So I don't know if they're going to move Mensa as well to try to mimic that, or if they're going to keep him as a pure striker.
Yes, it did seem like in that Atlanta game, especially Prosper was playing out on the wing. I don't know about the other games that were closed door, but Kasim was definitely on the right side in that Atlanta game. So, and Mensa, I would compare his role this year to maybe an Eddie Opoku of last year.
Eddie Opoku?
During a short stint here before he got injured, he came off the bench in those late moments, provide that spark, that quickness, especially against Tampa Bay when he destroyed that ball and ended that keeper's life. But definitely look for Mensa to take on that role of Eddie and come in and provide that spark. And they got the Ghanaian ties there, so that's definitely something.
Provide that spark like your Eddies, your Joe Hollins. He was a favorite of mine last year. He would come on, work his tail off, provide some spark, have some effort, some strength. Similar kind of role.
Yeah,
similar to Eddie and Joe.
Definitely. I do see him, honestly, if he does progress this year, definitely making an impact and coming in on those late, 70 minute substitutions. Definitely can provide something to this team that I really like.
Oh, absolutely. He may be like 17, 20 appearances this year.
Possibly.
But I don't know how many full games he's going to play. But I think you're right on the money with the he'll come in like 68th minute, 70th minute, just finish out the last 20 minutes of the game. Just provide that little spark you need.
Yes, and if he wants to get a starting role, which...
we're about to go into the offense, and
it is.
As much as I want to cheer this kid on, it's gonna be hard.
It is stacked. I mean, it's where do we start?
Do you want to start with the biggest name? I think I'm gonna start with the biggest name.
We should.
I'm sure a lot of you Legion fans have pushed this out of your memory entirely, but our second playoff game last year didn't go so hot, if y'all recall, 7-0, and times looked like the team just gave up. One of those players alone would have beaten us, Mr. Neko Brett. 4 goals against us. Well, as the saying goes, at least my saying, if you can't beat him, sign him. We signed him. We got him on contract. He is going to be heading our offense this year, and I couldn't be more excited.
It's crazy. This signing, whenever this happened, I was like, I had to do a double check and text some people, make sure this is like happening for real, and just crazy to think about it because the dude provides so much up top. He's a natural goal scorer, but what a lot of people don't see is he's a natural assist assist man, a setup. He sets the ball up well for other people. Definitely a nice piece. I don't know exactly how this lineup is going to look, who's going to be playing where, because there's just so many names.
Well, last year, Stone loved himself what was it that he liked? He liked a 4-3-3 is what we ran out a lot.
A 4-3-3, yes.
But I don't know if we are going to do that again with the way we have our stuff set up.
It almost looked like against Atlanta we were running a 4-4-2 with Prosser playing in that right mid, right wing type role, and then Dylan Cerna started on that left, and Wright and Brett were both up top in those central striker roles, with Akinyode and Asidu in the midfield.
We said earlier, J.J. Williams with Atlanta now. With J.J. no longer being here, it makes the decisions a little easier up top. But you still got a stacked lineup there.
I mean, it's pick your poison almost, because you have. It looks like definitely Brett, Wright, and Kasim will start. And let's dive into Brian Wright a little bit.
Brian Wright
last year, and now the Legion man himself this year.
Never really could find his pure role in New England. New England started making a lot of big signings. They're actually all behind us right now. So.
Oh, yes. He was, let's be real here, he was never going to break through in that. It's just the hard reality of MLS.
Please don't come after us, Brian Wright. We love you. We cherish you. We appreciate you.
He was about 5th or 6th down in the pecking order, so it was his...
They got some studs up there. It's as much as I love you, Brian. They got some studs up there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, but
please don't hate us.
Whenever he got released from New England... I was just praying that the Legion would take a chance again and pick him up. And I was very, very happy whenever I saw that notification come through from someone.
Multi-year deal.
Oh, yes, multi-year deal, which is insane for a guy who's only 24. In my opinion, it's insane. For a guy who's only 24, MLS squad, comes down, and he's a big body.
It's a big body, and
big body.
He's also, you don't always see this with a lot of big bodies, he's pacey. There were so many times last year where if you could get a good through ball in, he's out 10 steps ahead of the last defender. He's already gone, he's ready.
Yeah, and definitely an exciting guy to keep your eye on and watch out for him. Now I want to move into the hometown kid real quick.
Chandler Hoffman.
He will be facing some tough competition this year.
Coming off injury, too, which makes it hard for him.
Yeah, it definitely helped when JJ's departure happened. That short-lived, whenever he came in, honestly, he was going to be 4th down that pecking order in that central forward role with JJ, Brian, and Nico Brett ahead of him, so it wasn't looking good. But with JJ's departure, it's lightened up a little bit. Definitely could see some game time.
Unless we want to just do the just pull real wild card and go with 3-3-4.
Oh, something like that. I mean, Sohn. I have a feeling Sohn has something up his sleeve. He's gonna pull out. Chandler's not gonna be a bench warmer. He's not gonna be sitting on the bench.
He's top 10 in USL all-time goals scored. He's not gonna be a bench warmer anywhere.
Yeah, he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna start.
It's more about just finding. I think it's more about him just finding his time.
He's got to find his form first, and then he's very, very good at hold up play. So in that aspect, he's definitely a crucial piece of our offense. Hoffman, definitely look for him to be somewhat of a not regular starter, I want to say. Definitely not starting every game. But that occasional role, if he comes off the bench, though, let me tell you something. I would not complain if he comes off the bench every once in a while in that 70th minute, because
I would say it'd be a little earlier. I think he could be probably a 50th, 55th minute pull in.
Regardless, Chandler, if he doesn't start a game, if he's on the bench,
he's going to come in more than likely.
To have Hoffman on your bench is absurd. So that is
that's not a knock at Hoffman. That's just how stats we are on offense.
Yes.
If we're good enough to have Hoffman on our bench,
that's saying something.
That's saying a lot of stuff.
The front office has definitely pieced this together. And just imagine, I can't get over it, JJ. He's gone now, but that would have been scary.
Lethal. You couldn't have stopped that.
Yeah, but
I would have individually went and apologized to every other keeper in this league.
Yeah, Chandler, I'm definitely excited to see how he moves in the regular season. Preseason, he looked good in movements and stuff. That's mainly what my concern was seeing how he moved and his mobility was. And he looked sharp out there in that aspect of it. And granted, first game in months. So
he's got to get his fitness back up. He's
form,
climbing uphill on this one, but he's going to get there.
Definitely.
He will.
I want to move into the last man on the roster that we haven't talked about.
Who you got?
The MVP of the Legion inaugural season. The man himself, the Ghanaian, Prosper Kasim.
Prosper Kasim.
I want to mention the 23-year-old Ghanaian, Prosper Kasim.
That's actually, speaking of 23, that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about the team. We're a young team.
Definitely.
We are
There's
not
so much youth on
we
this
are
team.
definitely not a team of, like, some other USL teams will do the whole thing of, oh, we're going to have a bunch of, like, 30-year-old veteran MLS players that can't make rosters anymore and come down to us.
We have 230-plus. Matt Van Oekel is 33 and Kobayashi is 37. And then we have a bunch of high 20s. There's that good, what I love about this team is there's that good presence of veterans that can lead the younger guys. So it's not,
we do have that good presence of kids, too.
It's not top-heavy on either side.
No.
So a guy like Chandler, I love that he's there.
He can go in and teach Mensa.
Yes, Mensa.
Oakle can go out and teach Parker. Stuff like that. That's really the exciting thing there.
Definitely.
I can see a lot of mentorship happening.
Prosper is the dude is just good. The guy, regardless of what you say, he does perform on the field. And he's a critical part of this team. I'm left speechless sometimes. I mean, he scored the first ever goal in history. The first in Louisville, I should say.
The first home goal for us.
Against Loudon in, was it stoppage time, I believe? Something ridiculous.
I was actually, me and my buddy Gus were at the game. It was 0-0 the entire game. And stoppage time hits. I tell him, let's go. Let's head towards the gate. I'll take a 0-0 draw, I guess. As we're walking past the goal, the corner goes out. Actually, no, it was a throw-in, I think. Throw-in goes in.
So long.
Ball crosses across the box. Runs up, gets it. The place went wild.
The placement on the shot at the bottom right.
Oh, yeah. That goal didn't have a chance at that point in time.
And Prosper running over to the MCB, it was like a photo finish for the night. It was so much fun and so lovely to watch that.
It was, I think, Birmingham's first introduction to sports trackers that y'all soccer players wear. Because there was confusion that people thought he was wearing a sports bra.
Yeah.
And we will tell you that's not the case. They track your heartbeat, your I think it's miles ran, just hell stats of that.
A little lack of knowledge.
But we're not exactly a soccer city naturally. We're a big football city, so
yes, and definitely.
I can't exactly blame people for getting confused with that one.
And I
do think it was funny though.
Yeah, I want to touch on a couple of the departures because there are a couple big ones.
We got some big departures. I'm very sad about one of them. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one.
Daniel Johnson.
My boy Daniel Johnson, his autograph is actually right behind me in two different places. Actually, on a hat and on a little napkin. He retired. I didn't see it coming.
Nobody saw
Scored
it coming.
4 goals for us last year. If I say it to myself, he was the sauciest guy on the team by a long shot. I would say he probably had the best goal celebrations too. They were a joy every single time.
Yes.
And I don't exactly...
The 24-year-old, so such a young age, but same in the lines of Kyle Fisher.
Wait, do we know what Johnson is doing right now? Like what doing Fisher or
living life?
Living life.
That's all we know. Living life. DJ.
I know from his Instagram story he's having a good time. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, but moving on, a couple guys that are still in the game. This is a little bit old news. Apia left mid-season last year.
He is over in Bundesliga 3, I think, or 2.
Something like that.
He's over in the Bundesliga system in either 2 or 3. That's what I can tell you.
But by now, everybody knows that, so we'll just hop
That's been long news.
Yeah, right over to...
We've already discussed Kyle Fisher.
I want to move into more of the back line with Eric Avila.
Well...
The 32-year-old goes to San Diego.
And I can respect that. I can definitely...
I mean, if you have the chance to... play under Landon Donovan, you take that opportunity when you get it.
Isn't he from California?
I believe he's from San Diego.
Then I mean,
it's a no-brainer
for him. You get to go play in your hometown. You get to play under Landon Donovan. I mean, if I were him, I would have signed that too. I can't blame him for a second.
Yeah, definitely wish him all the best there.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they got some pretty sick kids.
Oh yeah,
they got some nice kids.
Definitely.
I don't know if I like their name per se, but I like those kids.
One guy that I was truly sad to see go, one of my personal favorites, and another key midseason pickup, Akeem Ward.
Oh, I know who you're talking. Yeah, Akeem Ward.
Akeem Ward,
the 24-year-old. He is actually on right now, I think.
The 24-year-old plays for NCFC North Carolina.
I can't understand why we let him go for a second.
I don't. It made, from our point of view, there could be something behind the scenes that went on, but from the fans' point of view, he was the perfect fit to come back.
He played real well.
he could play center back. He could play right back. He played everywhere in the back line. I mean, he's that utility guy.
He had nice. It was basically, I would say, a taller Marcus Ugarte, if I could say.
Yeah.
His passes were crisp. They were right in the money. Again, wasn't too overly flashy, but he would get the job done. It was hard to get past him. I miss him. I miss him a lot.
Definitely. Akeem Ward, I am going to keep up with him this year because the guy, I just love him as a player.
He is actually on the bench right now in the 25th minute for NCFC, but I would not be surprised if he is a second half sub.
Against Louisville, correct?
Louisville City FC, yes. The game is in North Carolina right now.
Awesome. Definitely wish him nothing but the best. And
absolutely. Much love from Birmingham, Akeem.
We'll have to pick up your jersey if you're listening, Akeem, which there's a small chance you are.
Small chance. You know, this is every day.
True. Hook your boy up.
We are his jam.
Hook your boy up with a jersey. I will tweet it out at you.
We will be tweeting at you.
I will tweet you the timestamp.
Please check your ads.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the guys that still keeps to date with us, so that's always good. And then we are
approaching the game of the season. That's something else we can that we probably need to discuss. We play a team I can't stand. Oh, you're giving me a look. What you got?
I wanted to touch on one more departure.
Ooh, who you got?
One more. We already we didn't cover Eddie Opoku, but we talked.
We did not.
Psych. There's like 3 more, but we're just gonna run through these real quick. Eddie Opoku.
Currently without a club.
Yes, he was on loan for Columbus, got released. 22-year-old Ghanaian. Honestly, wouldn't mind mid-season pickup. I mean, he's kind of one of those guys that his personality, you just want to sign him.
It's contagious. Being around him makes you happy.
He's got his whole brain be happy, which is...
There's a reason it's called that, because he is a happy fella.
And he just loves everybody. He was in Columbus at Columbus Crew's first MLS game, and he's coming down to Birmingham.
You can tell just by being around him that he's just a guy that loves life. He loves soccer. I mean, I would love to sign him, but I think for any team he'd be a great signing.
Yeah, and along with that, another retired player, Femi Hollinger-Jansen, the utility man of all.
Femi was a Swiss Army knife last year, naturally a striker, and got thrown into being a back almost the entire season.
Yeah, definitely.
Still gonna score a goal though. I'll give him that.
Definitely. A piece that will be missed here greatly in Birmingham, but we wish him nothing but the best and hope to see him at a game or two maybe. And then the last, and possibly one of the most shot to the heart ones, Zachary Harifo, the Haiti international man himself.
He signed with San Antonio. I wish we could have kept him. He was our only national team player. He plays for the Haitian national team.
Still so young at 23. Still so young.
And he's one of those guys that in my opinion at least, he combined with Daniel Johnson. They're young, but you can tell they know what they're doing on the field. They command your attention. You can tell by their posture that they've been there before. They know what they're doing. I mean, Harifo's played against Messi. Let's not ignore that fact.
Yeah, and definitely brought a lot to the table, could slot in that center back position as well as his natural center midfield position. But definitely we'll miss all those guys greatly and wish every single one nothing but the best for the future. And
let's get back to the home opener.
Oh,
March 15th. I hope we're all going to be there. I will be there. Will you be there?
I will be there.
We'll both be there.
Everybody from the Birmingham sports team will be there.
Everybody will be there.
So
if you're the other two of us listening to this and we haven't told you yet, surprise, you're going. Playing Charleston, a team I apologize to the entire state of South Carolina, but I can't stand Charleston Battery at all.
Charleston Battery, they almost remind me of Pittsburgh with their new crest.
They sure do. Are y'all piggybacking on something there, Charleston? I'm still mad about the incident last year with J.J. Williams and their Charleston's keeper, Kuzminski.
Well, Kuzminski is long gone to
Israel. Got loaned to Israel. That was a
shock.
That was a shock. I mean, of all places to be loaned to Israel. I'm sure a lot of Birmingham fans remember this game. Pouring down rain last year. Kuzminski gets in a little altercation with J.J. Williams, kicks him in the chest.
Something like that.
And, I mean, Charleston fans can get mad at me all they want to, be like, no, he was going for the ball. I was in the stand directly behind the goal. I watched it happen. I proceeded to yell at Kuzminski for a solid 10 minutes.
It was just one of those things.
It was one of those things where I think it was raining, he got frustrated, tempers boiled over, But I mean, at the end of the day, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, let's hop in our match preview here.
What you think of this preview?
Honestly, I'm gonna be frank. I don't know anything about Charleston this year.
I mean, I don't think they've made any splash signings that I can recall.
They're one of those teams that I just haven't been in the loop about.
They're going through a major rebrand, but I haven't seen them actually do anything.
Yeah, I'm more looking. The main things I want to see here is definitely the lineup that Sohn puts out and how Birmingham's click, how they click together. You know, if we got that fast paced offense, which everybody expects we have, definitely going to be some rough patches. Because first game in the regular season, still, even though you've had preseason, you're not going to get your form down until at least minimum 6 games, I'd say, in the USL. So definitely just looking for the little things, looking for the positives, not the negatives, and build off that. That's mainly what I'm looking for. Just the basics. Just got your sharp, crisp passes against a good opponent.
I want to know if we're going to play the counter with our offense, try just scorch her upfield real quick, get the advantage, and then go, or if we're going to try to play possession. Because we tried to play possession a lot last year, but it was strange because we would basically play the counter up into the midfield and then immediately stall it to try to play possession, and it would fall apart a lot of times.
Yeah, definitely.
Hence to why we were so bad at scoring last year. And so I want to know how we're going to try to do this year.
I think one thing last year is that a lot of our games were low scoring, and this year that a lot of them were last year. Excuse me. Last year, I just saw the Revolution score, which they're tied up now, which is disappointing.
Yeah, made Ethan a little sad.
Yeah, a little repetitive in my words there. Last year, we won a lot of games, close, low-scoring games, but this year, with our attacking firepower, it should be a lot more of a score line of mini goals, say the least, mini goals from both sides.
I mean, after a year where we averaged, 1 point something goals a game.
I just want to put that behind.
I want us to average at least two a game this year.
And that is very possible, and that should be where we're at. Honestly, I think we could put up 3 a game if we wanted to. There's just so many.
Or at least
ways.
A high 2-7, something like that, where it's where you're getting those 3-4 goal games in there just to really solidify ourselves.
Definitely.
And then just to finish on the Legion real quick, you got that US Open Cup date against Chattanooga. That was the 7th of April, I believe. I'll go back and check that real quick. But I believe it is the 7th of April. It's in Chattanooga. That's not too bad of a drive.
No,
I might be able to get up there for that game. I don't know if I will, but I might be up there.
Definitely a short drive. Hopefully, Birmingham Legion fans will be out there in full force.
Chattanooga's gonna have a actually, no, the stadium won't be open yet.
No.
Chattanooga's new stadium opens I think the 20th of April. So
something like that.
I wish I could have gone to the new stadium, but it's not gonna be ready in time. I don't think.
Definitely.
But just as a heads up, most of our podcasts will be around the hour to hour 15 mark. They might go over, might go under sometimes, but it's going to generally be around those time links, just so everyone's aware of that.
Just butt in right there in the Legion talk. But you want to wrap up the Legion talk? I want to wrap it up with a couple shout outs here. We didn't
Who are your shout outs? What you got? What you got planned?
Our boys Tyler Savitsky and Benjamin Kusera. Ben retired.
Savitsky is crushing up at Harvard right now.
And
get
Tyler,
that education.
Yeah, Savitsky is definitely at Harvard. Had a couple injuries, but those are guys who we definitely talk to on the regular. And
Benjamin was our first professional interview, actually.
Yeah.
And then Tyler was our third interview. So much love to both of y'all. We appreciate you. We cherish you all. I still have your signed jersey, Casera. So
definitely we'll have to make a trip down to Birmingham. And one last thing I want to touch on, a couple guys that very interesting. These guys are all without a club right now. Kyle Culbertson.
There we go.
Gil Mabiala, Joe Nasco, and Joe Holland. Those are just some names they're out there. Mainly role players.
Joe Holland was
besides
surprised.
Culbertson was very.
He was a starter for us.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised
nobody else has picked him up.
So I'm almost starting to think this is by his own will that he's wanted a year off.
Maybe he did a silent retirement or something. Just gone incognito almost.
Because he was 30, wasn't he?
27.
I apologize, Kyle, if you're listening to this, which you are. I know you are.
Yeah, a lot of young
I
guys.
apologize for that. I did not mean to call you old.
Gail Mabiala is at 25, Joe Hans at 26, and Joe Nasco, our Ryder Gunner's favorite player on the Legion, 35. Very sad to see him go.
Joe, send Gunner a signed jersey. He would love you so much for that.
He would.
I will personally dox Gunner and give you his address on live air.
Yeah, Gunner, you need to get on here now.
Right now.
But definitely.
Actually, Gunner will be on the next podcast, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So he can work that with you next time.
But let's move on. What do we have next?
Let's finalize real quick. Actually, Oma, I forgot. This one might run over an hour 15, but that's just more
Stick
content.
around.
That's just
Stick
more content
around.
for y'all. So I mean, are y'all really complaining? No. Well, there's been a little. I'm sorry. There's been a little occurrence after the Atlanta game.
Yeah, Joe Goodman of AL.com tweeted out a video of the MCB singing "Walking in a Winter Wonderland," a different version though.
Yes.
Little shot at the ATL supporters, which is always fun. And I was right there next to the MCB whenever they were singing. I was like, this is an interesting line that they're saying, but it was funny and it blew up. It absolutely blew up the video.
As y'all know, we're not the only Birmingham in this world. There's a little place in England called Birmingham that actually were named after them, just for clarification.
Birmingham City.
So all you diehard Birmingham Alabamas, we're not the first one. I'm sorry to tell you that. We were not the OGs, as some would say.
Yeah, in Birmingham City,
but
FC supporters.
There was a little post on Twitter. It was pictures of the game, some little comments. Well, Birmingham City is a EFL championship club. Birmingham City, their supporters found it.
And they started laughing somewhat because...
I mean, I think it was more of laughing with us, not at us.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Birmingham City, they go hard.
I don't know. I think Aston Villa's one that doesn't like us.
Top of the arrest charts. Just want to throw that out there.
The what?
Their Birmingham City fans are top of the arrest charts in all of England.
Hey, they're not top of the table. They're top of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Birmingham City FC fans. Please don't get mad at me. That was just a joke.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all will get promoted eventually.
I'm sure if you're listening this deep into this and you're a Legion supporter, you know exactly what we're talking about, and we don't need to allude on it too much. But this thing
been a little partnership. I would love to see a friendly between the two squads. It's been a lot of banter. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I definitely have. And our
we're not
shameless plug Birmingham Sports on Twitter
and Instagram
at bham sports _ gained about 1,000 followers in one day. So
a lot of those from England.
Yeah, so definitely go follow bham sports _ most of you are probably from there if you're listening to this right now, but we greatly appreciate it.
And it's been fun. We're not gonna read all the tweets right now because that's a lot of tweets. That would take a long time.
Great. My mentions were blowing up. I would wake up one morning and because of the time difference, I'd have over 300 notifications for about a week straight.
And since I was linked to the account, I would also have the notifications. It was a joy.
It was interesting to say the least, and definitely a very pleasant surprise out of nowhere. But we definitely.
Shout out to Brummy Joe. We appreciate and cherish you.
Brummy Joe. We love Brummy Joe. Actually, I've been watching his videos now and just brings that atmosphere
Ethan's
through
a
the
super
screen.
fan.
You know, I love me some Brummy Joe. But
shout out to the Blues, BCFC.
Shout out to everybody.
Everyone in England, really, except Aston Villa.
Got to come over here. Yeah, Aston Villa can stay. Jack Grealish.
I don't care if one of the princes likes you. We don't like you.
No, we don't like Aston Villa at all.
No.
But definitely some exciting times, and I mean,
I want to see a friendly. Jay keeps alluded to it.
I was about to run off of that, but definitely over the past couple of days, especially. I mean, there's still talk between the front offices, which is crazy to think. But if there is something that happened, it'd be during their preseason, not ours. So it'd be during our season that ended up happening.
We'd have to find a good old. We'd have to find the best. Our best odds would be either the international break for the U.S. to where all the players get called up to go play for the men's team, so we take a little break, or I don't want this to happen. If we crash out early in the U.S. Open Cup, might be able to find a date then.
Yeah, definitely going to be sometime this summer. Well, I don't want to say definitely this summer, but sometime in the summer it would happen during the
we can't promise a thing to y'all. We don't work for the team,
Yeah, we're just two guys that are just talking in a microphone
Sometimes
right now.
4 guys.
Sometimes 4.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to see that at BBVA Field. That'd be something else, but...
And then we play the next leg in England. It could be the first international derby.
Yeah, they could what is it? We could pull a Rail Monarchs where we charter a flight of supporters over.
Did they do that?
They did that for the Louisville game.
Did they actually?
For the championship, they chartered a whole entire plane out for supporters.
Why can't we do that?
Well, we haven't made it to the USL final yet, so.
Jay Heaps, come talk to us. We got ideas for you, buddy.
Jay Heaps.
We got so many ideas for you.
Shout out Jay Heaps.
Shout out to all of y'all.
Honestly, Jay Heaps a beast. You know, if you don't know who Jay Heaps is, if you're from Birmingham, UK, I want to touch on this real quick. Jay Heaps is a legend of U.S. soccer, pretty much. I mean, a beast.
He was on the U.S. men's team for a while, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Oh.
I should say a legend in MLS soccer. Drafted out of Duke in '99 to Miami Fusion, I believe, and then traded to New England.
The Fusion, remember that?
New England Revolution a year later.
Your team, Ethan.
Yes, won MLS Rookie of the Year, beast defender. Played about 10 years in New England, color commentator for a year for the Revolution, and then went on to head coach the Revolution until recently, and has made his way down into Birmingham, Alabama, to be the president and GM of the Birmingham Legion. So that's
Which
a little
30-second.
Don't quote me on all those. I could be wrong on a couple.
Here's a life lesson: never quote Ethan ever.
Never quote me. Never quote me.
Not a good idea. Won't be goal for you.
I'm running off the top of my head here. Didn't have this planned out, but
we had it. Let's reword that. We had it planned out. We didn't have everything planned out.
We didn't have Jay Heaps planned out, but
we did not. We're sorry, Jay Heaps. We love you.
Yeah, Jay Heaps definitely.
We'll plan for you next
would
time.
be something if he listened to this.
I told you, everyone on this team listens to this. It's our team rule now.
Yeah, everybody's got to gather and
I called the front office yesterday.
Listen to two supporters just rant for an hour and 30 about mainly Legion, a couple Bulls and Barons.
We're gonna finish with Barons. We still got a few things on that. That's our next topic.
Let's wrap. You want to wrap it up with Barons right now?
Let's wrap with Barons. Absolutely. Barons season starts April the 9th. I'm excited. I will more than likely be at opening day. I hope I am.
Same here.
Immediately after that, we got the Magic City Rocket City T-shirt giveaway on the 11th. I might go just for the T-shirt on that one, because I'm intrigued to see it's Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Up in Huntsville.
Is that game up in Huntsville?
No, it's down here. But
Gotcha.
The Rocket City Trash Pandas, for you guys who don't know, are formerly known as the Mobile Bay Bears.
Because I used to live there, and
they're the same team. They're just relocated, and they have an insanely nice stadium.
Very nice stadium. If we didn't have such a nice stadium, I'd be very jealous. But I mean, let's be honest.
Regents Field
is a
absurd
palace.
for a AA team. We love it. But I want to touch on the new manager real quick for the Chicago White Sox, Birmingham Barons.
I mean, he was signed by the White Sox at 2012, so I mean, you got something there.
Yeah.
I'll give you half credit for that one.
Yeah, I kind of mixed it up a little.
You get a 50 for that one.
Justin Gershel, if I believe I'm saying.
I'm going to go with Jerschel.
Jerschel. Justin Jerschel, 29 years old.
Justin, if you're listening to this, correct us. Come see us and correct us on this one, buddy.
4th season as manager at 29, which is absurd. You don't hear about that much. He started out with Kannapolis in Class A, and then he
has played for every White Sox affiliate. Actually, he's played for all of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, he played for all of them. And
his final season, he played he made 4 appearances for Birmingham. I believe it was 2 hits and 3 walks in those 4 appearances.
Yeah, but he played all throughout the White Sox system without playing for the White Sox.
He had a career .277 batting average.
Yeah, I mean, your typical minor league career.
He was the average minor league player. But also, no offense to you, Justin, because I know everyone listens to this.
Everyone listens. You. Of course.
No offense to you if you are listening. I appreciate his age.
He's going to bring something, honestly. I'm hyped for a 29-year-old. I mean, I'm sure he gets this a lot and he's sick and tired of, you're only 29 and you're a manager. But honestly, the amount...
every young coach gets that.
The amount of professionalism and accomplishments you have to, have
to be a manager.
Especially of a double A.
Yes.
I mean, he started out with Kannapolis in 2017, led them to the South Atlantic League Championship with a 68 and 69 record. In 2018, he led the Intimidators again and took them to the semifinals.
I think that's my favorite name of all the minor league teams,
Intimidators.
Exactly.
And then this past season, he was in Winston-Salem, which, for all that you don't know,
Let's go Dash.
They are the level right below the Barons. So basically how it goes is people will come from Kannapolis to Winston-Salem to Birmingham and back up to Charlotte.
And then to the White Sox if you go that far.
To the big time. So he led them last year to a 72-61 record, so very solid there.
Very solid.
I mean, I'm just really excited for him. And Churchill had this to say, I'm extremely fortunate that the White Sox have given me the opportunity to come back to Birmingham this season. There's a lot of buzz and excitement around Birmingham and the Barons this year, and I can't wait to get back to Regents Field and be under those bright lights again. So, I mean, definitely much to be excited about.
I'm stoked. Again, as a former athlete, one of my favorite coaches I've ever had was a young coach. I think they relate well to the players. It's easy for players to rally around them because it's easier to see something in common with them. You still do play, Ethan. What do you have to say about that? The young coaches.
I mean, I feel like the younger coaches and younger managers, they can connect with players on a different level. It's just that they have more of an understanding, especially if they've been players like Churchill has been a player in the past 5 seasons. He's 29 and he's coaching. A lot of these guys, the majority are below his age still at this level. He's gonna have that connection. He's been in their shoes in this time period, which is which is the big thing because a lot of these other managers have been in the same position, but 20 years ago.
Yeah, and the way you handle the situation a little different back then.
Yeah,
and so now it's easy for Justin to put himself in the shoes of the players to see the scenarios as he would see them like 3-4 years ago.
Definitely, and it's just exciting times there. And as far as players go, the rosters have not been set yet. They're still in spring training. A couple of guys I know, Bernardo Flores, a pitcher, is there. Luis Alexander Babe, something along the lines. That one of those names.
A lot of players that are actively still working out with the White Sox, seeing if they're going to be called up for that or not. Once the White Sox set their roster, a lot of the other affiliate teams will be able to finalize their rosters.
2 names I want to touch on real quick. Just going off the top of my head. So once again, don't quote it, but
never quote him.
Nick Madrigal. Played for the Barons last season and got called up to Charlotte. It looks like he's sticking at Charlotte, but he had a fantastic season. 3rd overall pick, I believe, in 2018. Shortstop. And the big one is Luis Roberts. Still has yet to make his White Sox debut. Top 5 MLB prospect. Had a short stint with the Barons because he's just that good. The outfielder got a big money contract. I don't know the exact numbers, but a big money contract before even playing an MLB game with the White Sox. So definitely look for him to make his debut at the beginning of the season, if not the beginning of the season, very shortly after it starts.
And I have 2 more things to add to the Barons before we wrap this up. One, they've released their list of promo dates for the Barons. My favorite one's on there. Wet Nose Wednesdays. There's 5 of them. Oh yeah. Bring your pooches out to the park. I want to pet all your dogs. I will be bringing my dogs. I want to go to them. It's a great experience. Hey, maybe your dog can catch a ball, right? Let him live his dream, okay?
Let him live his dream.
Also, one final thing that I want to touch on. The Rickwood Classic is set for June 8th. We will be there. I know it's a little early along for us to say that, but we all plan on being there. We're going to find something special to do for this game. It's a very important game. It has a lot of history for the city. We will be there. I hope to see you all there, too.
Birmingham Sports will be there.
You have anything to add, Ethan?
I want to touch on one other promotion day.
What you got?
Thirsty Thursdays.
Thursdays.
All you 21
those
plus.
Those are wild.
21 plus. You got $2 Miller Lite, Coors Light, Miller High Light, everything like that. $3. I mean, you got Blue Moon, you got Blue Moonlight Sky, Henry Sparkling. I mean,
just list all of them, Ethan.
And then $4 you have Foster's and Arnold Palmer. Hey, it's on their Twitter. So
if any of those companies want to sponsor us, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but Thirsty Thursdays definitely for all you 21 plus. Come out, get some cheap beer and stuff, and enjoy.
To counter that, real quick, for all those families out there, Sunday, Family Day, come on out, bring those kids.
Also, note fireworks nights.
Ooh.
Fireworks nights are always a good way to end the day at Regents Field.
Always a blast.
Definitely.
See, it said blast fireworks. I'm hilarious.
But
follow us on Twitter. Well, I think that's all we got for today. Anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
thanks you guys for all listening who are still here and made it through the hour and some
we
odd
appreciate
minutes.
y'all support on Twitter, Instagram, the blog. We appreciate a lot if you would like and subscribe to this to our new YouTube channel that will be on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna plug a couple things real quick. Leave your comments and suggestions down. Leave your comments and suggestions down in the comments.
Yes.
That's a tongue tie right there.
It is. We would love to hear your feedback. We'd love to know what you want to hear, what suggestions y'all may have. If we ever get like a name wrong, please correct us. If you're the athlete's name who we got wrong, please correct us. We'd love to talk to you.
Yeah. What is it? And definitely be sure to check out our Twitter at BHamSport_ and Instagram at Birmingham Sports to keep up all to date with this all the sports in Birmingham.
And then also be sure to check out our blog at bhamsport.com. BHAMSPORT.com.
Some
Check it out.
quality weekly articles going out about Birmingham sports.
Anything you want to know about Birmingham sports, we got you covered.
Definitely. And I think that pretty much wraps it up, man.
This podcast we're aiming right now for at once every 2 weeks.
And an hour to hour 15.
Hour 15. At the longest, probably like an hour 30, hour 40. Shortest, we'd go, I'd say 45 minutes.
Something like that. Should come. Just plan and do hour to hour 15 may vary in some. Definitely some exciting time.
We appreciate everyone's support. We cherish y'all. And thanks for coming along for the ride.
This has been Ethan and Russ, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.